You are now tuned into Two Drunk Sistas podcast, unscripted and uncensored. Grab yourselves a drink and enjoy.
Hey guys,
welcome to
Two Drunk Sistas podcast.
I'm D,
and I'm W.
Thanks for tuning in for another episode. Yes, I'm still congested, y'all. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So while D is sipping water, I am sipping on Patron.
Water and the Minute Maid tropical punch.
Oh yeah, she did a little mix water and juice. I'm sipping on Patron.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Patron. All right, so W said, like, look, she sent me a trailer. I was like, of this movie. I was like, oh, okay, it looks pretty good. It looks like there's something going on in the owns.
The gin and juice. Okay, sorry.
Djinn. So this movie is about a mute boy who becomes trapped in his apartment with a sinister monster after making a wish to fulfill his heart's greatest desire. So I like the movie.
So did I.
I like the movie. It didn't have all the big hoopla, of a horror movie, but
yes,
it still had its it was entertaining.
It definitely was entertaining, and it was like Dee said, it didn't have a whole bunch of component to it, but the fact that it did not, I felt like just it made it what it was.
Well, I think it was like a good silent film.
It's a good, definitely a good silent film. I feel like you were, it didn't take long to get things going.
Yeah.
You wanted to know what's going to happen next,
right,
or like, what is he going to do, or what, what's B, what's C, what's D, which
right,
is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it starts off with a kid he wakes up and you already can tell that there's there's something wrong. There's different frequencies and sounds that the environment was making.
Yeah.
And so he gets up out of bed and he goes to the kitchen and it looks like he was hearing someone crying, which I guess later on we find out that was his mom crying.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't tell you exactly what happened.
Right.
He just wakes up and that's how the movie starts.
Yes. And then they it shows the kid, I guess, moving from one place to like an apartment, like
a new place.
Right. So we're seeing like, okay, something happened.
Yeah.
So they move from the house to this apartment. It's him and his dad. Mm-hmm. And we just see the little boy going about the day, moving stuff, putting stuff away.
Right.
And then we come to realize that the little boy is mute. He's mute. Not to say he's deaf, because he can hear.
So that's the thing. It's like we didn't know what was going on. Like, right, what type of it's not
auditory.
It's not an illness. It's
not,
just
right,
we don't know like what type. Right. What type of auditory?
Okay,
like,
is he deaf? He's not deaf. Well, he can see. He can hear. He can't hear.
But I'm thinking like, I think he could hear.
It's just very low.
It's very low, probably.
Yes, very low.
Because his dad would read to him.
Yes.
And he wasn't looking at the dad, so I was like, okay, so he could kind of sort of hear.
Right.
And you just, like W said, you just don't know like how the extent of his deafness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, we see that him and the dad are communicating, and he's signing. Yeah. And the dad is also signing, and so
he's signing a book.
Yeah, he's signing a book, and the dad is also signing a book. So anyway, of course, like, what kids tend to do, they're nosy. You know what I'm saying?
They're very curious.
Yeah. So he's in his closet, I believe, right, and he stumbled across like just
old stuff that's been there from the last person who lived there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he hears this noise, almost like.
I think it's popular in the spirit world that the Harry Potter goes into these movies.
Yes.
You have to.
Right.
Because that's what was calling him into the closet.
Yeah. Yeah. And so he dug a little deeper, obviously.
Right. He was following the until he found it.
Yeah.
And whatever that he found, it was, first of all, when he found it, the thing it looked like it was binded.
It was binded in burlap. Y'all know how tough burlap is?
And it had a rosary bead over that shit.
This shit listen, burlap is not a cotton material. Yes,
it's
you
really
can still
tough.
cut through it, but it's tough. I'm like, this.
Tough as
I'm
fuck.
telling D, I'm like, this shit is wrapped in burlap. That's gotta be something.
Right. Not the Jesus cloth.
Like, goddamn.
It's burlap.
It's
the
burlap.
Thing is rough and tough.
And tough.
With your Afro
Puffs.
puffs.
Yeah. That's not our song. It's not our song. We don't own the rights to that.
That shit was like wrapped up. So it's like, and to me, it's like automatic. Like, all right, I don't need to be opening this shit.
So of course he opens it.
Yeah,
because he's a child.
right. And
what is it? The front. The actual book has the
pentagram.
The pentagram.
Right.
It's black. Okay.
Right.
He opens the book and it
You
says,
must have put the book.
it says Book of Shadows. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, charmed. No,
not that type of book.
not
of
that
shadows.
type of Book of Shadows.
You know what? It is that type of book of shadows,
Yeah.
but without the monsters.
Well, there's monsters in the charmed Book of Shadows.
There is, but there's also there. I feel like this book of shadows was like just spells.
Oh yes,
And rituals. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So of course he's skimming through it, and then he finds a chapter that says "Your Heart's Desire" or
something to that effect.
Something to that effect. And so what does he put it away? Because I can't remember if he puts it away.
He was starting to read it, and then his dad comes in, and his dad. His dad comes in, so he puts everything away. And the dad was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, just nothing. Come eat dinner." So the throughout the movie, you would see what happened to the boy's mom, and so the son felt bad because he didn't have a voice, or because he couldn't find a way to stop the mom from doing what she did, which was killing herself.
Right.
And me and W was like, she probably was depressed because of what the son went through, because it looked like the son went through surgery.
Right.
You could see the
surgery mark. Yeah.
Or something to that effect. I guess they were trying to get him to speak, or trying to help him with that. And maybe she, when you have a child and you try, you want to do everything for them, but you're helpless. You can't really do nothing. So we're just piecing these two together. We don't know if that's a real story.
We have no idea.
But she ended up taking her life, and the son saw it.
Yes.
And because he wasn't able to talk. He wasn't able to tell her to stop.
Yeah.
Mom, please don't do it. And she ended up killing herself in front of him. So now he has this regrets. Regrets. Now he has regrets, because he's like, maybe it's my fault because mom killed herself,
right? And
I was able to stop it, and because she killed herself because of my condition and stuff like that. So he was battling with that, and because he read the Desire book, he really wants to speak.
But you know what? When he said that he wanted his, like, when he did the whole ritual thing, I was like, okay, we didn't know that. If he had his voice, he feels like if he did have his voice, he would be able to stop his mom from killing herself. Yeah. Because in my head I'm like, okay, you want your voice? Oh God. Yeah. But later we find out like that's why he wanted his voice.
Right. You don't get to know the real reason why he wanted his voice until like midway or almost to the end of the movie.
Yes.
So so
he followed a ritual to a T.
To a T. This is what I don't get, right? So he's like reading the stuff, like the thing gives you warnings now. Like it gives you warnings. Like if you do this, the Djinn gonna be doing this.
You don't pay the toll, it'll take your soul. Like, come on now.
Like it was saying stuff like that, and then it was saying like the Djinn are very mischievous when it comes to granting wishes. Like you just don't know how they're gonna give it to you.
Right.
So I mean, from that point, what I'm reading, but you're in your mind,
and you're a child.
You're a child. You're like, man,
this is games.
I just want to get my voice. I just want to see if it works.
Yeah.
Well, shit, nigga.
This shit work, and of course, so guys, he does the ritual, okay, and then nothing happens, and then boom, bada bing. The Djinn shit just start going haywire in the house. The TV turns on, the fucking radio turns on, And mind you, he done cleaned the house prior to his old ritual Sam Hain thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He done did all that stuff.
He done lit the candle.
Yeah, lit the candle, did all that stuff, and so, stuff, weird shit just starts to happen after he comes out from the shower.
Right. You can see the smoke. And so the
black.
Yeah, so the Djinn's form is a smoke.
Like a shadow.
Like a shadow.
Yeah.
But it takes the form of dead people.
Mm-hmm.
To torment you.
Yes.
And if you can withstand the torment for an hour, you'll be able to get your wish from the Djinn.
Yes.
But this boy went through some shit. I said, nigga, you deserve that voice, but not in the manner that he had to get it.
It was, my thing was, and of course, he didn't read thoroughly. He didn't read thoroughly everything. Right. He had to go. He went back.
Yeah. I was like, oh, so you going back?
You going back to the book.
So you didn't read the whole thing?
No.
Oh.
So he's reading it, and I think it was talking about to get rid of it. How you get rid of it, and because he tried to blow the candle out, and the candle.
It was one of those tricky candles.
Yeah, it was a birthday candle when you try to blow it and it don't blow up.
No, bitch, I'm still alive.
Oh my God, he put the bitch in the water.
That shit came back.
The shit came back. The shit it manifested again on the damn nightstand. So it said that if you make it, like Dee saying earlier, if you make it through the hour, you'll be able to extinguish the flame.
Yes.
And send the Djinn back to the shadow realm, because that's where they are. That's where they dwell.
Right.
So yeah.
So he goes through all this trouble. I won't say trouble, but he gets tormented.
Man.
He tried to leave.
Oh man.
And then everything that happened in the apartment when he was trying to crack the window to get out, the window fixed itself.
Yes.
So he was going through a lot of shit.
And the shit was fucking with him. So he's asthmatic.
Yes.
He couldn't find the pump. Okay. Right. Then he was like, let me call my daddy. Then he couldn't find the goddamn phone. Right. Like, the shit was just...
It was playing hide and seek.
It was. And
as a silent film.
And so one of the things that the Book of Shadow did say was that the creature takes form of, like we were saying, of people that have died.
Right.
And so they're in the human realm. So whatever gets done to them that could harm a human, they also feel it.
Right, they're vulnerable.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So of course the creature took form of a dead convict from a newspaper, and so Buddy was able to the little kid was able to hit him over the head or the back. With the toilet top, yeah. And so obviously, okay, so that form is done. Mm-hmm. Then the fucking Djinn takes the form of the man who used to live there who had passed away.
Right.
So it's like, okay, that fucking thing, he ended up spraying his eyes with Raid. So Raid. So then the Djinn couldn't see shit. So obviously, okay, so he got rid of that meat suit. Next, he went to take the form of the mother.
Oh
now,
my gosh.
When he takes the form of the mom,
you can see the Djinn form.
Goddamn teeth. Oh my God.
This is where you can see the Djinn's form, like how the Djinn sort of looks.
Yeah, because in the mirror, you could see if he's trying to get the kid, you could see the actual color that the Djinn is.
It was like a dark, it's just black.
Yeah,
black,
and so, black. But obviously we don't see it. But
with the smoke, like the pig pen from Charlie Brown. You know, when the pig pen moves and it's got that smoke. And that's how the Djinn was.
So he's getting tormented, and then so I'm asking D, y'all like, yo, it's not an hour and go by yet. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, because I was like, I think he got 15 more minutes, but it felt like a long time. That shit felt like
it was all night.
Every time you look at the clock, I'm like, nigga, like, it's only 11:45? Fuck.
So I think I was a little confused because I thought it said that by midnight, your desire would be, your desire would be granted.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I didn't know that he had done, I thought he was waiting till midnight to do the ritual, but he did the ritual at 11 o'clock.
No, he did the ritual at 12, exactly.
So then how did he get for it to be after 12?
So the thing is, the next day...
Oh, it was the next day.
Yeah, the Djinn had to come,
Got it.
Had to come out. So I think that night, that last hour, which is 11 o'clock, that's when it came out.
Okay, got it.
So
I a little confused. But anyway, guys, the young kid goes back and forth. I mean, just hell.
He goes through a lot of turmoil.
He really does. And I felt sorry. I was like,
I did feel sorry for him.
Oh my God.
But he made it. That motherfucker made it.
You what is it? You made your bed, now you gotta lay in it?
Yes. Yeah. Woo. So this is a good lesson for you kids out there.
Don't fucking summon shit. Stop reading shit
that you don't know. If you see something with the pentagram and they have to tell you to get a candle and
don't do it. Don't look in the mirror.
Say this ritual. Do not do it because you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
You're not experienced. So yeah, I did feel bad, but I'm like, well,
you learned your lesson.
Now you learn your lesson to not read shit.
Right.
And so obviously when he's reading, there's a narrator. I forgot that's in the film.
Yes.
It's him.
Is that the adult him?
That's the adult him. You know what that is? That's his higher self.
That's his subconscious.
Subconscious talking. We hear his higher self because we can't hear him, obviously.
Right.
So
Abby.
So they go back and forth. Okay. So he finally is able to make it to the
midnight,
to the witching hour.
Right.
Okay. We got seconds to the clock or a minute.
Yeah.
And so. Here's my thing. Of course, they do that for suspense.
The prolonged.
He fucking stares at the goddamn candle.
Yes.
When he thinks he thwarts this creature, he stares at the candle, and I'm like, get to the candle and blow it out, goddammit.
Listen, I'm not even getting to that candle. I'm
from where I am.
Right.
Something.
Throw some water. Shit.
Oh my God. So he eventually gets to the candle, and then the Djinn does one final thing to fuck him up.
Yeah.
He gets rid of the razor sharp teeth and becomes his mother. Okay, and we see, and so the Djinn is talking and saying, you know, what's she saying? Oh, please don't,
please, you know, don't do this.
Don't do this.
Don't let me leave you again.
Right?
Like,
and so the little boy, he ain't fall for it.
Nah.
He was like,
Man,
you just see his face, like, oh hell no. He blew the candle, and that was it.
Yeah,
that was it.
At least that's what we thought.
That's what we thought. And so, you know, he goes to sleep, and I think he dreams, right?
He went back in the mirror because he thought that was it, that he was going to get his voice now.
Yes.
So he's like,
hello?
He's saying hello, but, you know, you don't hear nothing. So then he goes to sleep.
Yeah, and he dreams, and then in the dream, we see we see the same scene that we saw in the beginning,
right?
Where he sees the mom, and she gets the gun, and she's about to blow her brains out, and the little boy's like, Mom.
Right.
She turns around, and I guess he tells the mom, like, I couldn't stop you.
Yeah.
And the mom is like, no. And then they hug, they embrace. So I'm like, oh, okay, so what's going on here? Right. So I said, okay, so I think it was does it happen in the dream where he has the voice? Like, what's fucking happening?
You only have the voice in the dream?
In the dream? Right. So we're like, okay, right. So we're like, okay, fine. And so we see that he wakes up, or he's sleeping. He wakes up after he hear his dad or the keys. So we know that, okay, his dad is home.
Right.
So, you know, he tells his dad, I love you. He still can't talk at this point. I'm like, damn. He did all that shit and he didn't even get a goddamn.
Now, all the stuff that messed up in the house, everything was fixed.
Back to normal. Yes.
After he
that's
blew out
right.
the candle.
Totally forgot about that.
So it's like he had everything that happened to him imagined in his head.
Yeah. And so the dad is like, hey, remember, whatever, I'll go make breakfast. You know, you want to go get ice cream later?
Right.
And then we see the little boy.
That's when you see the little boy's face.
And then we're like,
and we see what the Djinn looks like.
Yes, guys. Can I just say I love the Djinn? I love the way he looks.
He reminds me of, not the look, but just the color from the show Evil. George. Hello, George.
I don't remember.
The burnt guy, the demon who was harassing the lady. At night, she had night paralysis.
Okay, I remember the night paralysis, but I don't actually remember what the demon looked like.
He was all black. He was all black. Yeah, he was all black too.
Okay, so I think they did a really good job with. So it's like you see the Djinn, you see his teeth, you know he's black.
Yeah.
But of course,
not African American, but
right. We know that
he's a shadow.
A shadow. So yeah, guys, not African. not
a black.
He's not a black person. Okay. Let me tell that man.
He's like a shadow.
Yeah,
dark,
but I was like, okay, I like how they did it. It's like you see it, but you can't see it.
You can see the menacing of the Djinn.
Oh my God.
It was real menacing. It was so menacing I had to go back and pause it. It was like, and just stare at it.
Yeah.
Because it was just so weird and nice to look at.
It's weird. I think we're weird.
We're weird. We're weird.
Yeah.
It was just, when you look at it, it's like, oh, that's really menacing.
Yeah.
But it looks
really
good.
Yeah. And it's not sort of like you're scared. You're just like, what the, you want to say, yo, what the fuck?
It's the grin.
It's the grin for me. It's the grin for me. Fuck. So yeah. So what y'all think? The Djinn is like, I's gonna give you your wish.
Right.
And I's gonna take your daddy. Cause you're your daddy's son.
Right. And we found out the dad is a disc jockey.
Yes.
So
and
he
we're like,
uses his voice.
Yo, the Djinn is fucked up. But you gotta remember, the Djinn will grant you your wish under whatever circumstances. You don't know what the fuck he's gonna do.
I mean, you didn't say specifically that you didn't want your dad's voice. You wanted somebody else's voice.
See, when you make wishes, you can't be like, I want $1 million, and God forbid your great grandma or your grandma who's alive goes on a plane. And then, did y'all not see Wishmaster? We gonna talk about that later. Goes on the plane and bam, guess what? You's a millionaire.
Right,
okay?
Because she has a $1 million policy and you're the sole proprietor on that policy.
People don't understand. It's energy, okay? There's a balance, yin and yang.
Yeah, you don't get shit for free.
You can't just get something. It has to go somewhere else. The energy has to go somewhere else, people! Anyway. Anyway.
The Djinn took the dad's voice.
Yes.
And while the Djinn was holding on the dad's neck, he took the voice out and gave it to the son. And now the dads don't have a voice, and the son is talking, and he said, I didn't know, I'm sorry, and they ended that shit right there.
How did that go? Now, how he gonna pay the bill?
Right.
See? Do y'all see this shit? God damn you, Djinn.
He said, how you gonna pay the bills?
Hey, how did that gonna pay the bills now?
The Djinn don't have any virtues. The Djinn said, I gave you a voice.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
The Djinn went right back to the book.
Yeah, it went right back to the book. My job is done.
My job is done. There's the balance right there. I gotta take from something to give you what you want.
Yeah, give me what you want.
And I'll go away. Y'all gotta remember that shit. So again, understand, the Djinn ain't nothing to fuck with.
They are nothing to fuck with. But I do want to know, like, the real story of the Djinn.
Me too.
There's so many stories of Djinns floating out there. I don't know
what's
real. But one of the ones that I heard were that they were the original inhabitants of this earth, and then that's when we came along, and then they were forgotten, and then they were forgotten and banished to the shadow world. Okay, and we were able to live in this world, and they were very pissed.
So they mad.
They big mad. So I don't
go conjuring up no goddamn Djinns. They mad at. They waiting.
Right,
they waiting.
Right. It's let me tell you, it's that same Djinn that it's in Aladdin. Okay.
Yes.
You know, that's the same as Djinn. The Aladdin genie.
Yeah, because Djinn is genie, isn't it? Genie. Aren't Djinns genies?
Yeah, they are. All
right, y'all.
Well, there you go, guys. Did you see the Djinn? If so, let us know what you think. Hit us up on our Gmail at 2drunksisters@gmail.com. The number 2 drunk, DRUNK at wait, the number 2 drunk. I'm not even drunk, y'all. That's fucked up. Number 2, drunk, DURNK, Sistas, SISTAS@gmail.com, and it's up on our Instagram, 2 drunk Sistas. Listen, I'm not even fucked up, and I still fucked up the Gmail. Oh my gosh, y'all. Thanks for listening to us.
Y'all.
If y'all have any stories.
And if you guys know stories of the Djinn, send
it to us. Send it to us.
Send it to us, please. Yeah, we'd like to read it.
Right. If you have any stories, in-depth stories, or so, we should do like read a story and talk about the story.
Yeah.
So if you have any scary stories you want us to read, and we'll discuss it, we'll do something different.
Like that.
I don't know.
I like it.
Anywho, enjoy your day.
Y'all be safe out there.
I think COVID is over.
COVID's over.
Everybody's having a pool party.
Yep.
Everybody's just coughing on people.
Yep, living it up.
And everybody's just being being not safe. But
Yeah,
you know
sharing
what?
is caring.
COVIDicus is over.
Yes. We still love y'all though, and still be safe. Still
And
be safe.
wash your damn
Wash your hands still.
Thanks, guys.
All right, y'all. Peace.